Guys, we're about to go way back to 1988. Hey guys, it's Christine, also known as Ivy Winter. Thank you for joining me for another Disney video. Today's video is a little bit more personal, and that's because it was a question that came up from multiple people when I was asking what your Disney questions were for me. And it was about my Disney story and how I got into going to the parks and my love for Disney and how that all started. And I wanted to save it as its own short video because I have some really cool fun things to show you guys. So let's just get right to it. So the first time I ever went to Disney World was in 1988. It was November 1988. I was born November 1986, so I was only 2 years old. I actually think it was right before my second birthday. It was the first time I ever went. My brother was 7 years old at the time, also his first time he ever went. And our parents decided they were gonna take us down to Disney World. So I actually have a really cool album of some photos that I'm going to show you, a few of the really good ones. We also had a VHS tape of that trip. Unfortunately, we transferred it to DVD, and that DVD has apparently gotten lost in a few moves and all that stuff, which honestly makes me very sad. But I still have the memories of it. I have memories of being obsessed as a child and rewatching that VHS tape all the time. I would watch the Main Street Electrical Parade like it was going out of style. My mom hated that song because I just drove her nuts watching it. But that's part of the reason why I have such a nostalgia for that parade. And yeah, I mean, it was a very different time back then. All you had was two parks, Magic Kingdom and Epcot. So check it out, guys. Back in the day, you used to be able to meet the phony King of England. Yes, that is me, just looking so bored, sitting on his lap, and that is my brother. So yeah, pretty normal meet and greet for that time. If you check this out, we've got very Moroccan looking Chip. I am right that that's Chip, right? Red Nose is Chip. Oh my god. If I mess that up and some Chip and Dale fan hears me, they're gonna kill me. So yeah, Moroccan style characters in the Morocco Pavilion. Just for funsies, a classic Christine photo. I don't know what I was doing or who I thought I was calling, but I was 2 years old, guys. And a really cool show that happened in Mickey's Birthday Land because it was his birthday. So we've got Donald there celebrating. There's Mickey and his birthday cake. Huge show going on here. Look at that cake, man. That is an impressive birthday cake. You've got himself on top of it. So 1988 comes and goes. I get a bit older. I obsess over this VHS tape. I beg my parents, take me back to Disney World. Fortunately, they couldn't afford it for several years. And then we finally get to go back, and I believe it was 1996. So now I am 10 years old. We go back. Things have changed. Hollywood Studios exists now. Also, I am 10 and my brother is 17, which means now he is too cool to smile in photos and just looks really not happy on the TTA. Just not having it. That was the year that he just begrudgingly went. Now he loves it. He's 36 years old and loves it. So there you go. This was back when Epcot had those really cool roaming guys on stilts. I remember that. That was awesome. I'm pretty sure they still had that parade back then too. Guys, Epcot used to have parades and like an opening rope drop and all of that stuff that they don't have anymore, and I don't understand why, and I really want that stuff to come back. As you guys can see, we went for the 25th anniversary celebration. We did get to see the ugly Pepto-Bismol cake, as my family joked about. We kept calling it the Pepto-Bismol cake. My mom was so upset because she couldn't wait for me to go back and see the castle. And then when we got there, she was like, what is this? Like, what is on this castle? I'm so sorry that you didn't get to see Cinderella's castle like the way you should have seen it. No, it's just Pepto-Bismol cake castle. And this was an exciting trip for me because it was the first time that we stayed at a moderate. Last time we actually stayed off at a Days Inn, something like that. I don't even know if it still exists. But got to stay at the time was just known as Port Orleans. It was just all one thing. It was the French Quarter, Riverside were not separate hotels. It was just one single hotel. This is before they separated them out. and it was just all one space, and we got to stay there, and it was really exciting. And then there's a favorite photo of mine at the end of this album that we joke about to this day. It was cloudy and rainy and miserable the entire time we were there, except for the day that we left. It suddenly became sunny and beautiful, and I cried. And this is the photo that my mom took of us right before we were about to leave and get on the plane. And you can see I am just so happy. I literally sat at the hotel and I cried because I didn't want to leave. I think that that was the true moment where I really fell in love with Disney World. And from that point on, my family kind of always was a Disney loving family. You know, the next time I went again, it wasn't until I was 16 years old. So our trips weren't like super frequent. We didn't go every year. We weren't, you know, we just didn't have the ability to do that. We liked to go other places up and down the East Coast. We did a lot of weekends places, but we didn't really have the ability to travel to Disney World all the time. But we didn't have to. You know, we had such a great time when we were there, and we kept the magic alive with movies and buying really fun Christmas ornaments and just reminiscing about the trips as a whole. And then when we could go, we'd go. And as I got older, you know, when I was 16 I went, when I was 17 I went with a friend and her family after I graduated high school, and that was when the bug really hit me as an adult or someone who was a bit older to really enjoy it. I don't think I ever went through the cool phase that my brother went through. I think I always loved it and I always wanted to go. And then my first real, like, as an adult trip was actually with Rob when we were in our early 20s. And I think from there it just kind of kicked off, you know, and having someone like Rob in my life who has also always been a Disney fan since he was a little kid, and something that, you know, we always talked about with his family, and his family went a lot. I was always so jealous because he was always going. But having that other passionate person in my life kept me interested in it and gave me someone to go with. And a lot of my trips, almost all of my trips as an adult have had him there, except for the few solo trips that I've taken in the past year or so. I'd say almost every trip has been with Rob, which has been super awesome because I feel like it's just something that has made us closer and just expanded our friendship, and we have so many cool memories now. And now that we're doing YouTube and everything, like, it's changed, but it's just as fun. So yeah, so my Disney story goes as far back as 2 years old. I would love to know what your Disney story is. When was your first trip? Were you really little? Were you an adult? Were you somewhere in between? What parks were open, weren't open? What was everything like back then? Because it's so different. That's it, guys. Thank you for watching another video. I appreciate you listening to my story. If you like this video, then like it. If you like me, then you should subscribe. I'm making videos every week, and got some new stuff coming in for 2018 that's going to be super, super fun. So definitely subscribe if you want to see that. And have a great rest of the day. Bye.